I've had so much new coming in lately. It's just been blowing my mind. Stuff that I thought I really understood came in at a greater level, and it completely changes my way of thinking about certain concepts. And the interesting thing is, as we move along this ascension journey, our consciousness expands, and things that maybe were uncomprehendable before, could be weeks, months, years before, now become understandable. Your logical brain could start to wrap its head around this information. And that's because when we rise in frequency and our DNA activates, that information becomes available to us because we have the consciousness embodied to be able to understand it. For example, we always talk about overthinking and our overthinking mind and how we really need to be mindful of our thoughts and watch our thoughts. And our thoughts can really lead us to where we need to bring our focus, to bring our attention. And then we sit and we meditate and we become the observer of the thoughts. And we try to get centered and present so that the thoughts will eventually slow down to the point where we can create that space and get in tune with what's happening within the body. But when you look at it from a different perspective, you start to realize that the thoughts are really a manifestation of the body. Your body is vibrating at various frequencies. And when there's unresolved trauma there, that trauma reflects out in the thoughts. Now, the logical part of the mind wants to focus on the thoughts. It thinks that that's the problem, when in reality, it's completely reversed. It's the body that is out of balance. It's out of coherence. And the manifestation of that out of balance state are your overactive thoughts, your overthinking mind. So when we realize that it's all happening within the body and we could start focusing on the body, when we start to bring awareness to the body, we create that space, more consciousness lands, more of your higher self can ground and be embodied. That space creates a different manifested reality for you where your thoughts are less intrusive. Well, why does that happen? Well, because your body becomes more coherent between your heart and between your mind. So it no longer is revving like an engine out of control in the form of thoughts. See, we always focus on the thought and we always try to stop the thought. We try to solve the problem of the thought when in reality, it's just showing you that your body has healing that needs to happen, that it needs awareness, it needs focus, it needs you to take that mind, which is now focused out in the mental body, and bring it back to the body physical so that you could breathe with it and get your heart and mind into coherence. When you start to do that, the mind will naturally slow down. You will start to feel a state of presence. The energy from your higher self is moving through your body. And when it's encountering density, that is resistance. And that resistance reflects out in thoughts. Now, we always say that, well, the thoughts are showing us what we need to focus on. But what's been landing for me recently is, again, it's opposite. It's that the body is what needs the focus. The mind, the thoughts are just a reflection of that out of balance, out of coherence state of your body. So when you can detach from the thinking mind and focus it inward and start to get focused on your breath and get into coherence with what's happening within your body, you'll start to relax a little bit. You'll start to get out of that fight or flight mode. You'll start to change your state of being. Your heart rate will slow. Your blood pressure will drop. You won't be running around in a state of fight or flight with all of those stress chemicals. Again, it's not the thought that's causing the stress chemicals. It's your body. The thought is the manifestation of that. So when you can turn it around and bring it into the body and breathe and do this throughout your day, for days, for weeks, for months, you're going to notice that the state of your body is going to change. You're going to become much more centered. Your breathing is going to become much more steady, slower, deeper. And that's going to reflect out as lower blood pressure, less stress, less anxiety, and less of an overactive mind. So important to realize that the mind is the reflection of the state of your body. When your body is in that fight or flight mode, when it's just tense, when it's dense, it's going to reflect out into thoughts. Have you ever been freaked out or scared or something happened that triggered something within you? Instantly, you get that chemical response within the body, right? And then the thoughts rev up. We always try to blame the thought or the event for the cause. It's the body's reaction that starts the whole thing. Okay, everything else is just a reflection of that. This is the cause. That's the effect. I've talked about that in many videos. So when you could feel what's happening inside and gain control of that by redirecting your mind inward, and we can do that very easily by using breath, establish a nice steady cadence, get as deep as you can, incorporate the planet into your breathing, ground deep into chakra 10, breathe, pull breath in from above your crown, bring it all the way down and all the way back up. Your body's going to start to become more coherent, meaning that the hemispheres of the brain they're going to start talking to each other. There's not going to be interference, or there'll be less interference. Your heart is going to communicate with your brain. Your brain is going to receive that signal. And the rest of your body is going to receive coherent signals, which means every cell in your being is going to start operating much more efficiently. And that's going to lead to wellness and a healthy life. Okay, it's going to put you more in control of what's happening in your environment. Why? Because you're more in control of what's happening within here. You're in control of the state of being. Think of the body as that bridge between the mind and the soul. When you can bring awareness here and get your energy moving through here in an unresisted or restricted manner, your soul's guidance is going to start to come forward. So what was previously clouding out or blocking all of that, the thinking mind, was really an out of balance body creating those thoughts. That's how it manifests. So we focus on the body, we get into a state of calm and presence, and we cultivate that as many times throughout our days we can, for days on end, weeks, months, like I said earlier. The thoughts are naturally going to slow down. They're going to start to dissipate, and you're going to find yourself in this peaceful state. And that state is going to start to be filled by information. It's going to be filled by information that's a result of DNA activation. It's going to be filled by information that's a result of a coherent connection with your higher self, with your intuition, with your guidance. That's going to start to rise up within you. So this energy that's coming down, this life force that is you coming down in your body, bouncing off and the planet and rising back up, you're going to start to be able to perceive when it gets up to here what that energy contains. And that's going to be new knowing and new information. And we can't get there by focusing on our thoughts. We want to observe our thoughts, but we want to observe our thoughts as we're creating space as we bring our awareness back into the body. Everything happens from here. This is the cause. That is the effect. So we don't want to go wrestle with our thoughts. We don't want to go fight our thoughts. We don't want to go change our reality by trying to control our thoughts. We want to change our state of being by doing all the inner work and diving within and finding the traumas, the areas, the density that holds that resistance that's been preventing us from getting inside here and tapping into our higher self, to our knowing, to our guides. It's all happening within here. This is the connection. This is the manifested avatar that your higher self brought forward to navigate this reality. And throughout our lives, we have fallen out of balance. Think of a system that goes out of balance. It's constantly trying to get back to its natural state of balance, right? The weather, for example, when the atmosphere gets overly saturated, we get precipitation. Okay, the precipitation falls, the atmosphere is less saturated, things become balanced. Well, when your thoughts are crazy, going active, you're out of balance. That's just the sign. It's your body that's out of balance. Your system is out of balance because you have taken energy and placed it out into the field and focused on what's happening out there. Turn it around, bring it back in here, breathe with it, and that will slow down that your mind, those thoughts, the monkey mind will start to slow. Less energy will go into that because more energy is going into here, which is waking up your system, waking up your cells, making them vibrate faster, and allowing more of your higher self to land. And that brings you more into coherence. It comes through your heart, it's up to the brain, and the signals that your entire body gets, all your cells, are received without interference, and they operate at maximum efficiency. And that creates a state of balance within your physical body that is conducive to grounding more of your higher self. More of your high frequency divine light can land and find its home. So the next time you're focused in your thoughts, you find yourself pulled out of your body, your awareness is on your thoughts, bring it back in. Know that it's your body that's out of balance. It's nothing external. We want to think it is, but it's really not. That's just the effect. The cause is the body being out of balance. And it's getting your attention. The thoughts are getting your attention. Bring it back in and breathe with it. Show it the way. Lead the way with conscious intent. It's consciousness. By slowing down your breath and bringing it into coherence, grounding, meditating, focus inside and watch your external condition change to match the more balanced condition that is happening within your physical body. Thank you.